What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to bench press properly. So when you set up for the bench press, there's a few key things you need to make sure that you are doing each and every single time. You want to make sure first and foremost your actual setup is proper. Then from there, you want to focus on your form and you want to make sure that you're driving power into the bar. So we're going to break down these components here in this video. We're going to first and foremost start with your setup. You want to make sure that you're getting a good grip on the bar. Now, personally, I like putting my ring fingers right at the ring of the bar. Now, depending on what type of bar you're using, it might have 1 or 2 rings. If it's an Olympic weightlifting bar, the rings are going to be a little bit wider and it's probably going to feel like you're benching super wide. So I wouldn't recommend using those rings. If you're using that type of bar, if you have the option to, go ahead and swap it out. If you don't have the option to, what you can do is you can use your thumbs as a spacer instead of using the rings. But if you have a typical powerlifting bar, the rings will be pretty decently spaced. The grip might feel a tiny bit wider than you might be used to if you've never used this type of grip, but overall you'll be able to drive a lot more power into the bar. You'll be able to use your chest properly, incorporate your triceps, and keep your shoulders in the right position. For purposes of hypertrophy, I'd highly recommend going somewhere between your pinkies and your ring finger around that ring. Once you have a good grip on the bar, you then want to get set up with your body. What you want to think about doing is digging your upper back into the bench as much as you can before you actually get going. What this is going to help you do is it's going to help you to lift your chest and expose it in the right way so that as you bring the bar down, you'll be able to drive a lot of power into the bar and ultimately get the reps up. Again, what you're going to think about doing is pinching your shoulder blades down and back. This is what we call shoulder retraction. That's going to open up your chest and allow you to bench properly. So now that your shoulder blades are pinched down and back, your upper back is dug into the bench. From here, you want to settle your hips. So think about sitting your glutes into the bench. This is going to create a slight arch in your back, but not a super big one. Just enough to be in the right position to, again, let your chest take over the lift primarily. So as you dig your upper back into the bench and as your hips are settled into the bench, you then want to think about your feet. Try to dig your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel all into the ground. You're going to think about digging your feet into the ground as if you were screwing in a light bulb. So now that your feet are engaged, now that your lower body is engaged, you want to go ahead and focus on the bar. Now that you have a good grip on the bar, you're going to bring the bar so that it's right over top of your breastbone. You're going to think about breaking the bar in half. So when you think about breaking the bar, you're trying to bend it away from you. This is going to engage your lats and allow you to work in the most optimal way that your chest takes over the lift. Again, make sure you keep your shoulder blades retracted all throughout the lift. So again, that your chest is primarily doing the movement and your front delts aren't taking over too much. Now that you're breaking the bar in half, you're gonna go ahead and tuck your elbows in at about a 45-degree angle. Your elbows are coming in at a 45-degree angle and you're gonna make contact with your breastbone. Once you make contact with your breastbone, you're going to let the weight settle for just a second, not an actual pause, but just settle to make sure that you have control over the bar. And then from here, you're going to explode the bar off your chest. When you push the bar off your chest, I want you to think about throwing a punch. So if you've never thrown a punch before, you're going to actually think about turning your wrists as you extend up. So you have the bar in hand, it's broken in half, you've lowered down, you've touched your sternum right at the breastbone, and then you're going to think about pressing your hands up and together by finishing with a rotation of the wrist. This last little bit is going to help you to transfer power all the way throughout the lift, and again, going to help you to squeeze your pecs at the top of the lift. This is going to be crucial, again, because we're training for hypertrophy for the most part, and it's going to help you to put a lot of power into the bar. Even though you might be training for hypertrophy or building muscle primarily, you'll also be extending and allowing yourself to train some of those power positions as well. After this, once you have fully extended the weight at the top, you're going to just make sure that you settle with the weight and then go for your next rep. You want to repeat this process over and over every single time that you bench, whether you're getting warm with just nothing on the bar or you're going for your max bench press. These are just a few simple tips to help you bench better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.